Hey family, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Cut Nice 50, and welcome to One on One with Cut Nice 50. Today, man, we got another amazing interview featuring my girl, Lana. I put her social media right here so y'all can like, comment, subscribe to her channel, watch her full story of her childhood trauma, which she shared with us today. It was an amazing interview. We went over so much from relationships to faith, to personal belief, to goals and future desires. There's things she want to accomplish for her and her young children out there. We all know that it's hard the last couple of years after COVID. Trying to be financially free, trying to find out a motivation or stay inspired to help inspire others on their journey, especially those who have went through childhood traumas. Lana goes in, and I believe she does one-on-one coaching. So I put her social media platforms up there. Y'all check her out. If you experience childhood trauma, you need somebody to talk to. She is a big believer in counseling. She also counsels others. And we was blessed to have a sit down with her. So y'all stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Also, we have another amazing interviews with a young lady we call Sam and a young lady we call Coach Naya or Miss Reed. So y'all stay tuned for that. Don't forget to join the channel. We appreciate all y'all for y'all support. Let's go ahead. We're building a community, a faith-based community, a community of respect, and a community of understanding and healing. It's your boy Connect Smith, and with that, let's go. Hey family, welcome to the channel. It's your boy Connect Smith, and I have a special guest, Miss Lana, right here. She's blessed me with her presence. She's gonna share a story. Very talented, acting, modeling. You see the face card, you see the hair. I'm pretty sure she did it herself because she's so talented. TikTok, Instagram, you name it. I'm gonna put all our channels out there, and then I want y'all to bless her. Reach out to her. We got some stuff we're gonna try to help her with. Tasha K, if you end up watching this video, make sure you reach out to her so you can hear her story. And just bless this young lady. She's went through a lot, and I want to go ahead and share and introduce herself and just about her passions before we get into these questions. But when I say she's an amazing individual, just hearing her story, and I think the title is called My Dad Warned Me About Him. It brought tears to my eye, and y'all already know I'm not a emotional guy, but I felt the pain. I felt the hard emotions coming from the healing aspect to the belief aspect of it. Until a young lady who's full of so much talent and gift that people try to dim her light. So I just commend her for speaking out on her bravery and commend her for actually helping share her story with the audience. How we doing?
Doing pretty good. Yeah,
Yes.
doing pretty good.
So you are in Tennessee now. You've been blessed with two young children. You like yoga. You do hair. You do so many other things. So let's just start off with your goals. What you want to do in the next, say, 2 years.
The next 2 years, well, I would like to be in like a bigger city,
Hmm.
because I'm from like a very, very small town.
Hmm.
So yeah, moving is most definitely on the list.
Oh.
And just getting more out there,
Hmm.
as far as like networking, connecting with other people, um, and just taking everything that I do just I guess like to the next level,
Okay.
or just
Okay.
like yeah.
So you 24 now. Um, two children. You in Tennessee. Which city is reaching for you a lot? Which one you want to be in? Because what you want to do, like I said, I call Atlanta the woman's state. It's nothing but powerful, amazing young ladies down here. Myself, when I first came here, that's all I seen. I knew like 10 doctors, lawyers, business owners. The women pretty much run the city, no matter what the media tries to make it seem like. This is what I found out as far as networking wise. I know other states do have some stuff, Florida, but then you go to the expensive realm. And so it's like what you want to achieve. That's not too far from you. And I don't know if you got family on the West Coast, but I went to the West Coast, but it's not genuine for me. I'm from South Carolina, from the South, so I like more interactions and just genuine people who actually want to see you succeed, and not people who want to latch on and
No.
don't want to see you actually prosper in life. Period. So that's what I seen. But any state that you got your top like three states you want to go.
Top three states. Um, I would say Florida.
Hmm.
Um, mm, I don't know really much outside of that. Florida. I never thought like top three state.
Yeah. So where you went at so far? I know you're in Tennessee. Any other states or just
I went to, well, we used to live in North Carolina when I was like
okay?
itty bitty.
Where
Uh,
in North Carolina?
Salem.
Salem. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
West of Salem. So that's near Six Flags, right?
I think so. I don't remember much about it. I was
Okay.
really little
Yeah,
bitty.
I think that's near Six Flags because I think I used to go through there. My son stays in North Carolina. I'm from South Carolina. That's like I said, another hour and a half. We hump through, but North Carolina is a good place. Uh, Certain areas, probably where you was at, ain't nothing out there either. You know, now
Mhm.
every place is building up, but as far as the industry, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's good places, and I mean, it's gonna always change. Like I said, your talents for what you do. Like I said, I see an acting in your future. It can be tricky at times, but naturally, I see an author in you just putting it on paper, getting the right people around you to actually help you do that. And it doesn't take much because you already know your story. You know what you want to put in there, and just revising. It's a little extra work just revising and putting it down. But I see a lot of talent in you. So I'm gonna just start with this question here, so I won't keep rambling on because I'm excited to have you on the show. Um, I say, is your definition of trauma? I know a lot of people have it differently, but your definition of trauma personally to you.
My personal definition of trauma is anything that a person goes through that it leaves like a huge impact on like the way they interact, how they
Mhm.
move through life and stuff like that. Um, it could even be something like really simple.
Yeah,
It just sticks with them.
yeah. It's going to change and shift your perspective on anything. So it don't matter. It can be like you say, somebody scared you. Now you scared to even have the lights off. You know what I mean? So that's what they call for us when I was overseas, PTSD. Something. It can be
Yeah,
minimum. It couldn't even happen to you, but happen to somebody else, it
right.
kind of traumatized them. So
Yeah.
that was a great definition. So, what would you like to share to the audience about your trauma in your childhood experiences?
Um, like the specific situation or like what I learned from it. Mm.
I say either one. You can say one specific situation and then what you learn from it, because at the time it's different from you now at this age, because we keep growing. But just I guess share one of the traumatic experiences, and then you can explain what you think about it now looking back on it.
Well, I know one traumatic experience for me in general as a kid was, I guess, like how much time I spent like alone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because my parents they had got divorced like before I could even turn like one.
Mm,
So the idea of like togetherness, I never
mm-hmm.
really got to experience that. Um, and my mom, she worked a lot. So when she came home, she didn't really have much time to like bond and be affectionate and stuff. And my sisters, they was running the streets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I was alone.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time in that moment, um, I just felt like isolated and alone. And um, in therapy, they call it the abandonment wound.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's when that occurred. But as an adult, it just made me appreciate my aloneness.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel more comfortable when I'm by myself around people who remind me of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but on like the negative side, the way it negatively impact me is like social anxiety,
Yeah,
not really trusting being around people, um, not really feeling comfortable
yeah.
around a lot of people because I didn't grow up around a lot of people. So,
Mm-hmm. And like I said, my parents, like I say, they split. I was a little bit older, but my pop's military. They want to say PTSD, whatever the case. But he drunk, so I don't drink and smoke now because I seen it's like something with my family and the me in their blood. We get aggressive, abusive, and stuff like that. So at a young age, I knew I was gonna never drink because I was always kind of muscular or big, just genetic wise. So I knew that it was dangerous, and you can either get locked up or even worse if we actually drink like every meal. It didn't even matter. So I didn't really think too much of it now, but just my mom, same thing. You know, you're a single parent, you working, you got a couple kids out there, so you trying to work two jobs. When you come home, it's time to sleep. You know, unless you're off, and then it's you're trying to feed them, go shopping. We don't look at it as kids going through that way. We just knowing that okay, it is what it is. We're gonna be by ourselves. Older siblings, they ain't gonna be hanging with us like that because it was five of us. I don't know how many was it with y'all.
It was four,
So it's yeah, you was four. You the middle child, or the youngest.
the youngest.
So and you the baby. So it's like yeah, they got no time really for
Yeah.
you like that. They live in their own life, and you can't blame them for it. But you do
Yeah.
get comfortable for after a while of being by yourself. You know what I mean? But you also on a negative, you reach out to other people to give you that connection. So when you do find somebody, you connect with them, whether good or bad. Hanging with the wrong crowds, we see that a whole lot,
Yeah.
um, and it goes from that. So, what are you hoping or praying or wanting to achieve by sharing your traumatic experiences?
So I'm praying that not only like for my own healing,
Hmm.
but to where I can like help other
Yeah.
people who've like gone through similar situations and just make something beautiful out of it. Because I've seen like this, I seen this post on, I don't know if it was on TikTok or Facebook, but
Hmm.
it was like somebody took your situation and they won with it.
Yeah.
So ever since I seen that, it's just like I prayed that something good comes out of all of this. Like I don't want to just say I went through all of this just to go through it. Like
Hmm.
I
So
want it to pay off, you
yeah,
know.
and I believe it will. I think, just going on my spiritual belief that God put certain people through certain things, whether we believe it or not, to be a testimony for others.
Right.
Whether it's them teaching, helping the others, being a counselor, a mentor, but it's an example because you see some other stories, somebody went through something, but they're not here. They didn't make it. It ended in a worst case scenario. Even though it was still traumatic, you can never downplay the traumatic or personal experience that others go through. But it's a example that it's still a grace out there. I know it can shock a lot of people's faith when they go through some certain things.
Yeah.
We can't understand it, or we can't even rationalize. I tell people we can't rationalize why God will let somebody else, you ain't do nothing. You feel like you don't deserve it. And we hear a lot of people now talking about generational curses or whatever the
Yeah.
case. But there's plenty of examples like I go through in the Bible that God, it seemed like it was a curse for a certain person, but it goes back 10 years, 20 years later, and it was a blessings for a multitude of people, thousands of people. They actually transformed or healed them. So it wasn't just about them, it was about the multitude of people. So it's like you being chose for a specific reason to carry the task because you're carrying it even though it was hurting for a while and maybe you're not all the way over it and you still need healing, but actually sharing your story and healing others will bring you closer to that healing. So I don't know. I know I asked that in it, but seeing that video, I had my own perception. Today is 2025. You think you done healed already or no? You still need some work.
Healed from the video that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in some ways, when it comes to like the guilt part of it and the
Mm-hmm.
shame part of it, yeah. But on like the trusting part, no,
Okay. And
no.
I mean, the trust that's gonna never end in battle. Okay, you see how the world is today. So as far as the guilt, can you explain why did you feel guilty
I guess
looking back
because
at it?
like it's something that my dad had already like warned me about,
Hmm.
but I was just I don't know. I just thought he was tripping.
Yeah. So what he told you, your
um,
pops.
they just told me not to go back over there. My dad, he's like extremely intuitive. Like he
Hmm.
he can see stuff way before it happens.
Hmm.
But at that time I thought he was just being, just
Protected too.
overprotective. Yeah. But they just told me not to go back over there. Um, and that the dude was like a creep. And I was like, okay.
Because how
But
old was the guy?
I couldn't hear you.
How old was the guy?
I think at that time he was like 32, 33, then it's
Mhm.
30, 35,
And you was 13,
30,
12,
30.
13? So you
Yeah.
was 13, he was 12, and you was going over there. And y'all was just hanging out. Or was it other people there too?
No, it was other people. So the background story of it, um, it was one of my niece's birthday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And my stepsister, she asked me to come over to babysit or something while she and her fiance had went. I think I don't know where they went, but yeah, I went there to babysit.
Okay, okay.
And they had came back, and I guess she just drunk too much, so she
Mm-hmm.
went to go lay down, and there just was no supervision.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and you can tell on that because you was the same. You not even 5 feet. So I imagine by then you was a little shorter.
Yeah,
You was a little shorter. Did you like the guy, or you
no,
just ain't even know him?
no, that was my stepsister's. I don't know if they were about to be engaged or they were engaged, one of them. But no, there were
So
no
he
feelings.
already not even was he in a relationship. He was finna be engaged to somebody else.
Right.
Okay, and you didn't. You just ate it. You ain't say nothing for how many years?
Um, Honestly, with as intuitive as my dad is, um, that very next morning, my dad had pulled up there and he was like, "Come outside, you finna leave." So I
Mm-hmm.
got all my stuff and I got in the car and I forgot what he said, but I was like, nothing happened. And they just stared at me. I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he knows that happened. So,
Yeah, he probably, intuitive. He knows something happened, but probably not to the extent. Have you ever told him the full story?
um, yeah, um,
And what was his reaction?
um, just upset. Um, I don't know, just upset. But the way it played out, though, um, he was actually lying and
Hmm.
saying that I had pushed myself on him, which
Yeah.
I know I didn't. And that's how everybody found out about it through
Hmm.
his lie. And my stepsister, she had came to me about it and she asked me what happened. And I told her, and I guess she told my dad and stuff.
And how
So
long was that between the incident and then everybody finding out? When he made up his lie, and of course he's gonna make up his lie because he don't want to seem like the guilty party. But it wouldn't matter if you started it or not. At 13 years old and 32 to 35, it's not a acceptable
yeah,
thing. You know what I mean? I know
yeah,
it seemed like today is more common, and they used to do it way back in the day, but that's just not
no,
how it's supposed to be in my perception. I know a lot of
no,
people
it's
got their
not.
own things, but it's not the old times. We're not trying to
No,
populate the earth and stuff like that. So I don't
no,
think it's a never be acceptable for a grown man to take
no.
advantage of a young lady. So everybody was mad. It came out. Was that within the first a month later, or within that time frame, or is it way?
That really, yeah, all of that was really within like a week. But by the time they could actually like get him for it and like
Mhm.
for him to go to jail, he was already heading to jail 'cause I think he had like killed somebody.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, so that's what I was like. You never know. You did what you had to do because you just said you blanked out, right? You just
Yeah.
start thinking about you don't want nobody else to get in trouble and stuff like that. So if he already was doing heinous other crimes, if you did react, different, like I say, we never know how we're gonna react during an experience, but your body protected yourself, from whatever you was dealing with. And then later on, he got arrested. Is he still in jail currently?
I have no idea.
Okay, but at least he went to jail. If he went to jail for specifically murder, he probably still in there and never get out. And generally,
Okay.
like I said, I believe in karma, regardless
Yeah.
if they go to jail or not. I believe like it's a universal law of
Yeah.
balance. You take advantage of somebody, you do things you're supposed to. It's gonna come back around, regardless. I don't.
Yeah.
I always seen it in real time coming through. Like I said, I was talking to this guy the other day, and he was asking about definitive proof about the Holy Spirit, and we've been going back and forth for weeks. And this fella, I was like, I see you hungry for knowledge. All that I gotta do is point you to the Bible. I can't make you believe something that you don't believe. I can just share it and tell you my perception of it and what I believe because I got supernatural things that I can't explain. In your situation, nobody could. You never know how other people are gonna react, but some people don't black out. They feel everything that's going on or whatever the case, but you were spared in that aspect from your testimony that you blanked out and you were still concerned about not yourself. You know what I mean? So you know how what kind of that strength is something that is it's not natural to be that strong at that age. You know what I mean? I don't know if you looked at it that way, but you had strength beyond your physical appearance and your emotional experience during that time. But your strength is further than anybody ever else can even think or imagine. So I'm happy that the guy went to jail, justice coming through, but it ain't gonna be enough justice personally because I'm passionate about stuff like that. I had a friend, and I know what I would have did if I would have called that person, you know what I mean? That's everybody's life ruined. Because I know me, I know where I was from, but I've always used to lean on that eye for an eye, whatever, tooth for a tooth in the Bible. But God spared me from actually meeting that person. I think he ended up going to jail. But generally, when certain people do that, they are repeated offenders.
Yeah.
We don't know it, but then they be like, "Hey, this happened," um,
Yeah.
and then you find out it happened to multiple people over and over.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the case with his situation, um, or it was just a one-time thing. But generally, it's not a one-time thing. If
Yeah.
you got the courage to do that, that's a different ball game. Um,
Right.
so are you still in counseling?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
And do you see the benefits from it from your standpoint?
Yeah, for the most part. Um, just the main thing for me is learning to, I guess, like be more present
Mm-hmm.
and not operate from the mind of a teenager. Because I learned that whenever we experience a type of trauma at a young age, if we don't properly heal from it mentally, we're that
Mm-hmm.
same age.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
just learning to, catch up to speed with my
Hmm.
age,
Yeah.
emotionally and mentally.
I mean, but shoot, looking from your age, you're only 24, and you still seem like you wise beyond your years. So I get it when it comes to like socially when they talk about you stay at that same 12-year old, you don't develop or you don't do more. But I think that is a counterbalance when you're a mother now. So it's going to
Right.
force you to grow up whether you want to or not. Now you taking care of young ones who are
Yeah.
depending on you, and you got to be there for them. So I
Yeah.
think even though I wanted a whole lot of kids and stuff like that. So, and I always believed that I wanted like a team, football team, basketball team of kids. And marriage, it wasn't. It was like okay, I get married, whatever else. So it wasn't a biblical sense in it, but it was like yeah, I do it, but I wanted kids before marriage, even though I wasn't supposed to, but I did myself. That's just my own personal thing. But I think the kids probably was a blessing, for your healing journey and stuff like that. But the forgiveness part, I know you're still working on it. I don't know what you think it'll take for you to actually fully heal. because I see you getting in there. I think it's the more talking. Um, I don't know, maybe healing somebody else, meeting the right person. Have you talked to anybody else who went through the same or similar issues?
Yeah, it's sad to say, but my sisters, they've all went through the same thing as well. So,
I was I was like, are you serious?
yeah.
Yeah, people they out there digging. I'm thinking they must have hit something. I was, it happens. I'm gonna tell you what. It was a so I was interviewing this lady the other day, and she went through some traumatic stuff, but she can't show her face right now. So I don't know if she's in hiding or whatever else. And you don't know, I do have a background in law enforcement, but normally on the federal side and the Department of Defense and stuff like that. But she didn't want to, show her face yet. But she's saying she's getting it almost there. She's almost ready to come out the closet, but she probably been almost hiding like 8 to 10 years. Um,
Wow.
so I can only imagine. I know she said, so she lost a boyfriend also before in the past, and she was like, it took her to a dark place that she shouldn't almost be here. So I can only imagine the other stories that's connected to her for her to be excluded from the world, but she still wants to, help the youth and stuff like that. So I just, I'm gonna give her the respect and stuff kept coming up like that. You know what I mean? Trying to block her. It's like spiritual warfare is real. Talked
Yeah.
about the same thing. People, trying to dim your light, things like that, man. I was like, the devil know, boy, when you're trying to do something good or positive, you're supposed to get attacked. So people I talk, they don't believe in that. They don't believe that you're gonna get tried. You're gonna go through stuff that don't make sense. Um, they don't believe in none of that stuff like that. But we can always keep pushing because I think it's not supposed to be easy for us. It's not supposed to. But Tennessee, man, I can't wait. I want to see what you do when if once you do get on one of these shows or a movie or start getting into the acting. It's a lot of hard work, but it's natural. Um, you can even get those roles now. You still can play a high school student, so they
Yeah.
can probably you can be in high school. What's the 'cause normally those shows? It seems like it's a high school show. It'd be like WB normally do a lot of those shows. They're
Mhm.
grown women. They might even be older than you, but they playing 16-year-old characters, 17, 18. And for
Yeah.
your height and build, how you look, I don't even know what age you feel can technically play. Uh, but you can play those roles. I see it. You know what I mean? Um, who else you remind me of? What's the girl? I think she ended up directing her own movie also. It was like Big Shots or something like that. She was a actress, but she ended up directing her own movie, and I forgot the other girl name. They did the reverse, like she was the parent, and then she was the kid, but they went in each other's body. But she produced it. I don't know if it's called Big Shots, but she's short too. She brown skinned. I don't know if you know that actress I'm talking about. Y'all got to be the same.
Probably so.
She just like I think she just turned 18 and changed a little bit. Did like runway stuff, but she a black actress. What's the name of her look? I'm the big boss or something like that. But she directed her first film at 18. You know
Nice.
what I mean? I can't think of it's a girl off a scary movie who was the the other lady in there who was the boss. Or it was Haddison, the little comedian. I can't remember which one it is, but she did it at 18, and y'all around the same build. I can see it. So I don't know what's your niche is gonna be. Do you like comedy? You like more stuff serious, or it don't matter?
It don't matter. I'm all over the place. It don't matter.
So let's go. Your social media content. Which ones you normally go off of? You like the silly stuff, the enticing stuff, or the more realistic?
Um, Mostly silly, I guess, but I also like to teach people and
Mm.
uplift people and encourage people and stuff. Um, So just a mixture of stuff. But it's between silly and like spiritual.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's how mine used to be. Like I say, I did the fitness modeling and stuff like that. So it used to be either somewhat sexual, you know what I mean? Especially in shape, you got to show off, and that's the thing. But social media wasn't like it is now. You know, you thinking 4 or 5 years ago, it used to be okay. Now it's everybody half naked, but it changed, and now it's like I like it and I don't like it. You know, it's like that love hate because you got to do social media to get out there. So it's good for business, it's good for networking, but it's still coming at a cost also.
Right.
Because most people you meet, and it's some genuine people still out there, but a lot of people, especially when I was doing the modeling, they ain't genuine. You know, it's either um, I say what I know a lot of these. I'm in Atlanta, so you know I can know a lot of these celebrity women. It seems like they married on public, but it's all like fake stuff. You know, it's all staged. They ain't really happy. They ain't doing it, but they on a reality TV show, and it looks like it is what it is, but it's not true. But people believe it, you know, because it's like drama TV,
Right.
whatever the case. But they are actually good people, and it's like I go to the spiritual aspect. Certain things I couldn't do. Like I don't judge nobody else for however they living or whatever the case may be. But I can't. I don't. I never been blessed with that ability to judge other people. It's I don't know. If I thought it was everybody operated in that same manner, but it ain't true. You know, we all are judgmental at times. But myself, I never judged people, and I don't know. It was my grandma? She was like half Indian, you know, and I think pretty much we are the indigenous people. But she was like with dream catchers and all this other stuff. She passed when I was young. My dad, mom, but she always said, "Kill them with kindness." You know, don't judge others, stuff like that. But I don't know if she actually used to read the Bible like we have in our day. You know, Indians they have their own stuff like that, but she always say, you know, rely on God or whatever. But I always took that with me, you know, being in South Carolina, you know, KKK was still, you know, you name it, calling every name in the book. I done been calling it. I didn't judge them, but I didn't also hate nobody else. I just figured out you don't know you saying this, but you don't even realize what you're saying because it don't pertain to myself. You
Right.
I knew my power. I knew that we are, if we the most prosecuted, and we can just looking at it, black people, it just seems like are prosecuted or made to look harsh, bad, negative people. For what reason? That's always I used to say. So it has to be something especially
Yeah.
unique about people of color.
Yep.
Not saying just all black people, but just people who are prosecuted and go through all these trials and tribulations. There's other unique people out there, but it's something specifically about black people that I think is just special. Whether people don't believe it or not, the world says it. The Bible kind of explains it somewhat, but it that don't matter when it comes to what you actually believe spiritually. You know, we all gonna be tested and tried, but
That's true.
I just was like, man, acting. Did you do some modeling yet?
I've been told a lot of times that I should. I had signed a contract with a modeling agency that was in, I think, was it Nashville or Memphis? I
Mhm.
forgot, but I had got out of it because it seemed like I had to pay for everything.
Oh yeah,
I
that
had to
ain't no
pay
good.
a,
That's a scam. And like I said, I had to learn that the
yeah,
hard way. You don't have people, and that's what it comes to having good people in your corner to help you on this journey because you know you're talented, you know you got abilities, but you don't have the people to be like, hey,
yeah,
okay, I see they interested, but this ain't right.
yeah,
You know, no agency, especially you sign with, is going to charge you for this and that. It might
yeah,
be other stuff that's extra to improve your skills, to improve, you know, your walk and other stuff like that. Um, but it is scamming companies out there too. So you got
yeah,
some legit ones, and I realized that you know doing like the fitness modeling, some clothing stuff, but they want you to buy all these clothes
right,
and you sponsor them and you get to so why am I buy this if I'm representing your brand or whatever the case, but I'm spending hundreds of dollars. It don't make sense. But
yeah,
it's like I'm glad you mentioned it. It's a lot of that stuff still going on today. Um, I think I was in a running for. And I ain't talking about this company itself, Men's Health and Fitness. I don't know if you've seen it be on the magazine, Mr. Health and Fitness. So 2024, I was in the running for it. I was like a finalist. But every week, the idea is presented for people to vote on you. But the way you get more votes and stay ahead is people have to also donate. So you get the free votes, but you also have people donating. So you got a lot of supporters or whatever else. And there's some people say they got I think it's a girl. She was going for Miss Health and Fitness. So it's a male version, a female version, and we all in the health and wellness. But she was married to a ex NFL player, and I think her husband's a coach. But she had millions of followers, so people are gonna support her more. And just imagine, just for this fake title, you know what I mean? Because I'm still gonna do what I got to do with it when it comes to health and wellness. I'm still living this life. I'm not. This ain't not go just to get on a magazine cover or whatever else. But just imagine how much money they running, because we had thought it was a short contest, but then they started expanding it out weeks and weeks and weeks and even months. So your fans, how much is the burnout? You want people to support you, but you just spread something out that should have been maybe a month, maybe a couple of weeks to 3, 4 months to try to win a title. So it turned into it stopped not support, but a business. And I was like, I never do it again. Like it always come up and do you want to apply? I was like, I never do stuff like that again, because now you're taking advantage of people who generally want to see you succeed or advance. So I call it almost it's for a good cause, because they support veterans, homeless, stuff like that. They save with the money, but it's still a business aspect of it when you get into that world. All that, all those millions of dollars ain't going to these people, because the world wouldn't look like it is now. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So it's like I see people doing it, and it's multiple contests like that, from acting to modeling to the health and fitness to different things. We see these contests when you see people post. I don't know if you've seen it yet on your timelines. Hey, vote for me, vote for my child.
Yeah,
They trying to be this, but it's like
yeah,
this. You can do free votes and then paid votes, and they go on for weeks. Have you seen that yet?
yeah, I have.
And it's like it's like a pyramid method. You want those to win, and it's nice, but
Right,
it's like the money buys it,
right.
and it shouldn't be like that. You got genuine people we can always support, but that's
Yeah,
one thing I look at and I was like, because it stops people who for wanting to keep voting for you and keep donating and keep trying to help you succeed. It kind of kills that for me, and that's a
yeah,
sad thing
that's
I
true.
see. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think you're gonna find a good balance. I know it's a couple. I think I know is it Click Models down here in Atlanta. They always looking for fresh faces is what they call it. Just like in acting, it's called fresh faces. You ain't been in nothing. They ain't see you. They see you and they want you to actually partake, or they want you to try or audition. That's why I say the monologue is gonna come in place. And it's nothing. It can be 2, 3 lines. It can be anything. Cute girl, mean girl, bad, whoever, what it is. It's just something unique to you to show off that you are multi-talent. You got different things, and you already doing it. It's just putting it on paper, or when they ask, "Hey, give me a 15 second," because normally it's 10 second, 15 second monologue. And it's like Denzel, his greatest one you seen people kept doing over and over is the which is one, he was the bad cop, and old boy took his money. King Kong don't got nothing on me.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was his long monologue, and he didn't write it down. He made that up on the spot. They say.
Nice.
So he one of the best, of course, but he still made it up on the spot, and they just was like, okay, we're gonna keep it. Ain't no need to shoot nothing else. We got it because
Yeah,
everybody believed it.
yeah.
So he used that, but that was a shame that he only got the Oscar after he did that role. And how great he is. All those movies he did, they didn't recognize him until he did pretty much. He was the evil cop.
Oh wow. Yeah,
So I tell him it's two sides. We can still do what we got to do for ourselves, but I think now he's proclaiming to be a Christian. He only doing a couple more movies, and then he was like he done. He
I
don't do
see.
social media. Other people post some stuff, but he don't got like an IG account. He don't got no social media accounts. And just from interviews people put out there, but he just think that we need to. I think he's trying to get ordained also.
Mm.
So let's go ahead and wrap these up. What was your deciding factor to share your story public when you first made those? And I know you had other videos, but that video right itself about, I think it was two experiences, right?
Right. Yeah, it was.
And how far along was they?
Like the two situations, how
Yeah,
spaced after
was
it
it the same
happened.
year? Years
Uh,
later?
I think it was the same year. 13 was horrible for me,
Yeah,
but
13.
I think it was the same year.
And did it lead to you? Do you like older men?
Um,
And I know it was
yeah,
rare pickings up there in Tennessee, maybe. So,
yeah, I do. I just associate them with like more wisdom.
hmm hmm
Um, but whenever I was going through those things, with those two older men, I actually wasn't attracted to them. I was
hmm
into females.
hmm
That's what I mentioned in my videos. I was dating a female at the time.
hmm
I didn't really get attracted to men until I met my kid's dad. That's
hmm
why I had kids with him. But yeah.
Yeah. So at 13, you was dating a girl.
Yes.
Okay. And what you think attracted you to a girl at 13?
Because I mean that's all I grew up around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my first everything was with a female. I just I don't know. Just all I knew was females. I grew up around nothing but females. My mom, my sisters. um, so
And that's
yeah,
all you seen. So your love, hey, I love my sisters and stuff like that. So it's natural for me to love a female.
yeah,
If that's what all I see, that's all I know is the
right,
love of a woman. But
yeah,
we take it to the next level. Like I got friends who homeboys and people tell me all the time, how can you be a Christian or whatever? I just consider myself a Jesus believer. It'd be like, how can you be a believer and associate yourself with somebody else who have a different lifestyle than you? I'd be like, how can you not? If you saying you're a believer about somebody's personal choice, because I got a homeboy and that's all he had was sisters and stuff like that. Started doing hair, amazing. He killed it, win all the awards and stuff like that. Played football, but he's a big guy, and he's not ashamed to say, "Hey, I'll knock your head off if I have to." There's nothing feminine about him. Like, now it's a different time, but we from a different generation when it's like we don't care what you do in your person. That's your private life.
right,
How can you judge them and you not perfect? You know what I mean? So
right,
I never understood that or never judged people for that belief. And I get other people, but I was like, I'm not called to be a prophet or a pastor who actually trying to judge and criticize them. But I was like, cause the Bible don't say that. From my perception of it, I don't think the Bible tells us it's, if you don't have that sin, then how can you judge others and you still a sinner itself? So
right,
I took that personally, in my walk with anything. Only thing I have a passion for, and I don't tolerate. And then we all have our own things, is abusing kids, children, and people who can't protect themselves, from women to elderly, stuff like that. If I see it, it ain't gonna happen in my presence. That's just me personally. But I still not gonna judge them for it. I just realize that they got to be in a place that they don't understand what they're doing. And that's what clinged to me when Jesus, like before he actually passed or transcended back to heaven, that he said, "Forgive them because they know not what they do." And that's my thing is, I don't think we as humans realize what we do and the negative consequences or impact has to have on somebody else. Because if we did, we literally knew the pain, the torment, years of recovery, whatever the case. I don't think that most people will do it if they can see what actually they're doing. Or you just got those evil people, but I
right,
just believe that's a different thing. But I think that's what he meant by that, because I still believe all of us gonna get judged about how we lived our life accordingly, and then that's gonna be a wake up reality for a lot of people. But um, and I know it's hard. I know it's hard for you over there. So it's just you, no support system over there.
Well, my dad, I stay with him now.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
I was out on my own for about 4 years, and then I came here. Um, but their dad's mom, she does pretty good with getting them.
Okay, okay. That's good. So at least you got a little help, so it's a better situation. So 24 might be the year for you to start letting your light keep continue to shine.
Yeah.
So you are you I know you're still working, you're going to counseling, you got the two amazing kids. Um say 2 years you want to do something, you sharing your story. I mean, you're inspiring others whether you realize it or not, or whether or not they're gonna actually say it. You know what I mean? Because they watching, and that's the thing. Sometimes I hate about social media. They don't try to like your stuff. They watching. You know they watch it all the time, but they either don't do
Yeah.
something because it's now it's tracking, and maybe they scared somebody. You know, might say something or whatever the case may be. I
Right.
think it's like that pressure from the world. It stops some people from actually saying, "Hey, I appreciate your story. I went through so and so and so." You know, they kind of still afraid to do it, but some
Yeah.
you'll have those who accept it and then they share theirs and they be like, "Hey, you actually inspired me by sharing your journey."
Yeah, and that's crazy because I actually did a video on TikTok where I was explaining like my perspective when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to like people on my page. I actually prefer if my family don't see my videos and if they don't comment and stuff. Because when I post, I don't like to have to think about what other people think, how they'll feel, how they'll perceive it.
Mm-hmm.
So I naturally try to like keep my family off. So I
Yeah.
don't mind them not interacting. I prefer it to be that way.
Hmm.
But
I mean that mentality is right because you shouldn't care what other people perceive about it because it's your story, it's your truth.
right,
Whatever you do in the video, and it don't matter if they was right there with you. They ain't gonna see it the same way because they ain't you. You know what I
right,
mean? So I have people like that, but like, hey, why you ain't do it? Because you ain't me. You know how I'm gonna
right,
do it the way you want to, and we don't have the same thought
right.
process. We ain't lived the same life. We ain't walked in the same shoes. So I hear that a whole lot. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, I know your faith journey. Was your faith rocked a little bit when you went through whatever, or you was just at that because you was at a young age that uh, it's kind of easily to get over a whole lot of other stuff. It's still traumatic, but you know, the youth, they say that's what the wise is for the old. You know, the
Right,
youth, we get over stuff quick and fast. It's like, hey, we don't, because we don't know the consequences or the effect that they're really going to have on us. You know, because we're
right.
kids. Our brain ain't mentally there yet. So looking back on it, what do you think? You think you
Um,
handle it well, or you think you ain't crash out? I don't believe from your
no,
testimonies. I don't think.
no, my coping mechanism was really just staying away from guys,
Hmm.
just isolating myself. But
But you wasn't even with guys too much back then, right?
no, I wasn't. I was just dating females.
So
Um,
when did you start your first date of a guy? What year was that? And what age?
um, I was about to be 18. That was with my kid's dad, so 2018.
Okay, so that was your first real boyfriend, and
Yeah,
he ended up becoming your kid's father.
yeah,
And I know
yeah.
I can only guess that it was you was like toxic. I don't know why, but why y'all not together in your opinion right now? He just need to grow up,
Um,
or you think it's both?
it's both.
Okay,
Um, because um, it's a lot of stuff that I don't know.
that you
It's
dealing
a
with?
lot of Yeah, it's a lot of stuff from like childhood that like it alters the way I
Think
yeah, and how I like perceive and interact, and he would have reactions to certain things that I would do out of survival mode.
okay.
And
All
it
right. See,
just
I'm a male and I'm an older male. Share one experience because I might can help on that from the male aspect and an older male aspect.
right. Okay, so one example, whenever me and him lived together or whatever, Um, when he would come home from work.
Hmm.
Just I don't know when you know how when people like get off of work they're tired and stuff
Yep.
like that. My brain took it as, oh, so you're not happy to see me. You must not want me here. So I got up and left.
But that
So, yeah, because I don't know, just from childhood, I just grew like extremely sensitive to
you was
people. Like,
used to that. You didn't have affection, so you was wanting that affection all the time.
right.
Did you express that to him before while y'all was together? Hey, I went through this one as a young child, so I love you. I want to be with you, but this is what I need. Have you ever told him those exact words?
I mean, yeah,
Uh-uh.
no, not really.
Nah,
I
see,
didn't know that. I didn't know to say that. I guess I just figured, okay, you're in a relationship, you should know.
but that's the thing. Men ain't mind readers. Only thing we can go off is what you tell us. Hey, this is what. Because remember, we logical. Women, I say it's more emotional. You in tune with a whole lot of things. You can multitask. Man, we ain't that great at multitasking. That's just it. We can do certain things, but we generally have tunnel vision. I get off work. I know I got my beautiful girlfriend, my wife, whoever at home. I always love to see it because you're there. I'm coming home to you. I know it. I'm
But you're
always
not
excited
smiling though. Like no smile.
because
Like
he
you're not
by that
happy.
time, did he have a good day? You be like, hey, did you have a good day? Or it's just like you ain't even happy to see me. Is it was
Mostly
it
you're
one
not
day
happy.
you asked him, hey, did you have a good day? How can I help? I'm happy to see you. Did you ever return it? Hey, I'm happy to see you. I know you had a hard day at work. Just any kind of small talk because generally men and y'all was young, so it's different. I don't know how old was he compared to you.
Um, he's like 4 years older than me. 3 or
Okay, so
4 years.
he's still young too, so he wasn't too much. So the thought process is still there. So he's like, you know, say if it's a rough day, long day, or whatever, you're tired, you're exhausted. Men generally don't open up until they like feel safe. So yeah, he coming home, but if y'all already having a not really toxic, but you're bashing heads because I can see you already strong willed. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I'm pretty sure you got it on them anyway. Hey, why you ain't say this and that? I just came home. You been going all day and you ain't even. Hey, baby, I miss you. I love you. You ain't give me a kiss or nothing. You just go and sit down. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now it's like a push away. He don't want to deal with it. I just want to come sit down. It's been a long day. Give me 5 minutes, and then we can go ahead and conversate.
Yeah. And
That's
that's
just
something that I didn't understand because I'm one of those people who I know everybody's not like that.
mm,
And I gotta accept that. But I'm one of those people to where I could be having a horrible day. But if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I don't make them feel like they're the reason why I'm having a horrible day. I'm still affectionate, I'm still loving, I'm still cuddly, all of that, even if my day is poopy.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I just expect that too. Because if I can do it,
yeah.
why
But
can't I receive the same?
yeah, but you different, and you're a woman. So say if it's different, like for me, I don't bring work home. You'll never know what I'm going through, and then vice versa at work, they'll never know what I'm going through personally in my own house. You know what I mean? I kind of separate those, but I was trained that way. Most men ain't. They ain't even trained that way. They can't split it off, so they carry some of that stuff home. And when they get home, they kind of want to escape. You know what I mean? Because they feel safe. He know he has you there. He want to escape. But then he wants to give you some affection or what you need. But if y'all ain't never had that conversation, it's more of a drift getting, you know what I mean, getting created because he don't know exactly what you need. He don't
Yeah.
know how to get to you emotionally. He don't know, he don't know how to respond because you went through a lot. I don't know. Have you ever told him everything you went through or no? Because a lot of women I know they don't share all those details until
Yeah, I
later.
did.
You
Yeah, I
did?
did.
And how did he take it?
Um, it was a couple times he cried,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So what do you think now? You know how men don't like to cry. So if a man cried about you sharing your experience to him, what you thought that how you felt about you?
Well, he has empathy. He cares. Um, but I just feel like it could have been showed better.
Yeah,
It could have
yeah.
been shown better.
No, it could be shown better, but I tell you that when a man just you tell him a story and he sees it, he imagines it because there's nothing that he can say to make it better. You know what I mean? As a man, you're supposed to be a protector, provider. You're supposed to do whatever you can to prevent your spouse or your loved one from going through that pain. But if they went through something and they can't do anything to help you out of it, and that's your own soul battle, that's a lose lose battle in their head, especially as a man every day. It's nothing that I can do to fix this. It's nothing that I can do to erase that pain or erase the torment that you had to endure. So I'm always gonna fail in that aspect, but I want to make you whole, you know. So coming from a man, some men don't know how to handle that. I want to do my best, but I know I can never fully please you. You know what I mean? Unless y'all have deep conversations with it. Hey, I know you can't fix this. I know you can't do that. But only thing I need from you is when you come home, this acknowledgement. Tell you miss me, you love me, hug me, and then go ahead and do whatever you got to do. If you need 5, 10 minutes. But I know a lot of couples, especially just even the older couples, they don't do that. You know what I mean? I myself, like I said, I like my alone time and I don't have no alone time now. My daughter is going on 27, but I had a prayer about it. I got a 2 year old now, so my
Yeah,
son gonna be 3 October the 13th, and I
yeah,
got a 27-year old. So believe
yeah,
me, going back in that aspect, but I like from being overseas for years, isolated, playing football, traveling, doing all this stuff in my past. I love my alone time and I'm still lovey dovey. But when I want it, then that's it. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be talked to. And then my spouse is different too. She needs that. And just coming from a woman, she need that affirmation. She need reassurance. Hey, this and that. I know it. She wants to make sure we're on the same level. And I just try to, let it be known that men and women we operate different. We all don't need something, and it could be something just different for you than anybody else. But we all need reassurance of certain things. Like I said, I took marriage uh, as a vow. Yes, it's a vow to my spouse, but it's ultimately a vow to God. So for me to
yeah.
please God, I got to please her and do everything I have to. But I
And
also still have to do everything as a man to provide for the household, take care of my family, take care of the kids and it can be on both parties. But there's no one time that I'm thinking about anything outside of the household. Because I
yeah,
know women they mind to go, hey, you ain't appreciate me or something. You thinking about another woman, and vice versa. Some men, hey, I just come home. Are you cheating? You hear those stuff a lot because it's not no reassurance or respect in that relationship like that because we all know what we want, but we don't share that to our partners. Hey, look at we're not connecting on the same time. My wife constantly reminds me, hey, we need a date night. We need to sit down for a week, a conversation, because we both busy, especially with kids and everything else you got going on, daycare, family stuff, and the unseen stuff. It's hard to even have a conversation at times especially when kids are in the picture and then you both working or one working, cleaning, housework, laundry, that is a never ending story. So that's why, I wasn't a big conversationalist. I'm pretty sure you let them be known, hey, we need to talk. What you got going on? But I
yeah,
don't know how did you approach it, and if he was the opposite of you with attitude wise, you know.
yeah, yeah. I know I could have done better. Um, I know instead of me leaving, I probably could have like went outside for some air or
And
something.
you just
But
left.
I just up and left.
Dang! Cutthroat.
I don't know, cause like whenever I feel emotions, and that's what I told him.
Mm,
Like it don't take much for me to feel unloved.
yeah,
It don't take much for me to feel like you don't care. All it is just something simple.
yeah,
And just that one simple thing, even the eye contact, if the eye contact is off, like I'm just gone because
yeah.
I don't like to feel, I
Yeah,
don't know.
nobody on earth likes to feel unwanted, but
Yeah,
especially I can speak from women that I know, they don't want to feel unappreciated. not love. You know what I mean? Especially when they went through, say, bad relationships or hardships in their life.
Right.
We want that connection, period. And as a man, sometimes we just don't get it because we don't operate the same. I don't need no reassurance. I know you love me. I know you. We here. You know what I mean? So, because we often forget, okay, those emotions, the temporary emotions, but what's the good ones? You here for a long time. Love don't ain't just going away. So I don't know, when did y'all split?
Uh, I left whenever, like, I had just gave birth to our first daughter, and I was really only there for like a month,
Oh,
and then I left.
so you done crushed his hopes and dreams. And what did he say? How did he handle it?
A lot of resentment towards me. Like even now, like 5 years later, it's just a lot of resentment
Yeah.
and just a grudge and blaming me for a lot of stuff. And I mean, I get it, but my thing is, I express to you that I feel unloved. I express to you these things, and nothing changed. And I'm not one
But
of
how
those
long
people.
did you express them? Okay, I know as soon as you give birth, I went through two postpartums, and your emotions is all out of whack. So whatever
Yeah,
you feeling is amplified 100 times more than you can ever
it really
imagine.
is.
And men don't understand it unless they went through it.
Right.
So I try to tell men, hey, you don't know what she's going through, and yeah, you can feel this type of way, but you're never a woman. We'll never give birth, so we can't even imagine the stuff you go through. Now put that on top of the emotional stuff that you went through in your past. Is understandable, but what can he do to make it better? I mean, he can probably find solace and understanding. I don't know if he watched any of your videos and just get a full grasp. And getting older, I think he'll probably eventually come around. But I still think y'all need to have a conversation. You know what I mean? Because hey, he is still the father of your children. You loved him. Y'all had a great relationship for a while, but it's something there. Me and I tell my wife, and I don't had this conversation with a lot of people that men love harder than women. What you think?
I actually agree because females they fall in love easy and frequently, but guys they barely do it. So when they do it, it's
That's
just like
it. We giving you everything because a woman leaving can crush a man and he'll never recover. You know what I mean? So if it's still resentment or pain or whatever else, or he blaming you, that's a sign. You can look at it two ways. Either he being petty, because men don't normally hold grudges, or it's still love there. And he felt like you abandoned him, which you said you had that feeling of being abandoned, but you did
yeah,
the same to him. So
yeah,
I know you talk about it. I seen in your videos. Um, I think generational curses and stuff like that repeat in the past. And what happened? You did the same exact thing unintentionally because you just tried. You know what you felt at that moment, but didn't give it time, and you just did what's naturally comes to you.
yeah,
So I think yeah, he definitely hurting. Two
yeah,
kids. I love my kids. I know I do anything for them. Just wanting to see them grow. And now you can only imagine. Now somebody else might be in the picture, whatever the case, and he can't have that connection. You know what I mean? So that's another mindset for a man that he has to deal with, and he don't understand because there wasn't no understanding why. Okay, we had little issues, and y'all both was young, so the living together, whatever else, and not headbutting is expected. That's just it's a part of the process because we both growing. Me and
yeah,
Edwin, we both growing. We maybe shouldn't even been living together, but it worked for a while, and now we got two amazing kids out of the whole process. So even though you was growing up, he was growing up the same. He wasn't perfect, you wasn't perfect, but now we're at this situation now, and a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. How can we make amends and actually get on ground floor? Yeah, we can talk about the past, but that's over. From this day
yeah,
forward, what can we do to make this better? Because they getting older now. When they was younger, they didn't really understand, but the 5-year-old get it. Now coming up, and the three when he turned 4, he might start to get it. So what is the game plan going forward for y'all to
yeah.
actually make amends?
Yeah.
Is he even talking to you or no?
Yeah, um, we actually had an incident to pop up recently, but I'm not gonna talk about it. But we ended up apologizing to each other.
Okay, I mean that was good. That was good. You apologize to each other. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask you a question. Now he might not know when you look at him, what you see.
I see somebody that I genuinely love.
Hmm. Do you see him hurting?
Yeah,
Still hurting? Do you think he gotten over you?
no,
So just think about this. If the shoes were reversed, do you think he would have left?
no, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wouldn't have gave him those reasons to leave me.
But you
I'm
can't say that
affected.
because you would be reversed. You see what I mean? He wouldn't have left because men gonna love harder. He gonna try to because he got all your information, but it's harder. You probably wouldn't. You probably would have been a better support system and stuff like that because you know who you are. But
Right,
when it comes to leaving, generally men don't leave, especially in relationship. Then when you put on top of that two kids, it's hard for a man to leave. Now you do have those scumbags out there who just ain't no good regardless. They just I don't know what to say. And luckily you ain't meeting none of them, and I pray you never meet none of these guys right there. But getting in that acting world, you're gonna have a lot of scumbags. But I think your spirit put you to the right people in the right place because I think your intuition, your pops had it. I'm pretty sure you got a level of it yourself. It's just fine tuning it. But you'll
yeah,
realize genuine people when you meet them. You know what I mean? You'll realize if something don't seem right, they trying to take advantage of you because, like I say, you have a unique look. You genuine. You got a soft voice, and some people take that as weakness, but they don't understand that you. I know you got that fire inside of you anyway. You ain't playing no games. If it was just
no.
like and it came home and you gone, you,
Me and the kids.
he was like, I'm not. He turned around, waking up, fixing the sandwich and bags out the door. Man,
Yeah,
5 years, and that was. But I had to think you was only 19 though.
right,
You no way near that person now than you was back then. So
right,
it ain't no shame. I tell people all the time and make it amends. That's why you see who knows if it's gonna be 30, it's gonna be whatever the case. When you see people getting back in relationships, or you see like I seen a couple of couples, they was married once, they got divorced. 3 marriages later, they end up getting back together. But like we shouldn't have never got divorced. You know what I mean? Because you don't know. You just wouldn't. You met for a certain reason, but you didn't do the things you both need to do because it's still a teamwork effort. When you move in together, now it's not about self no more.
right,
When we're young, we don't think about that though. It's just it's still independent natures, but we supposed to be in one union, especially with kids. But imagine looking at these young girls now, saying your age was 18, 19 when you have your kids. It was hard, right?
yeah,
Raising two kids and now trying to hold up a relationship so you nobody can judge you or criticize if it didn't work out. It was stacked against y'all to fail. That's the thing about the world. They do all this, it's stacked against us to fail. They don't want you to succeed, but they don't want households to stay together either. So I think y'all at an age that you can make amends, you can work stuff out. Obviously, he still love you. If y'all getting into it, this when you know a man is been over you. If it's no conversation really, it was like, hey, I'm to see the kids, this and that, and okay, that's when you know if you can't get under his nature, you can't change him, take him out of his character. That's when you know he's gotten over whatever the case and he moved on. If he's still giving you attitude, holding a grudge, or whatever the case, he might not never get over you, or he might one day will. It's just finding that whatever's going to be the best solution for you. Are you in
yeah.
a relationship now?
No, I told him before that like I just Just if me and him don't work out, I just focus on myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Travel. I just want to make a lot of money and just become something, become somebody, and just.
Yeah,
But
I see. I mean, that's gonna be a plus for you. You're gonna be somebody. You're gonna do whatever you want to. Like I say, whatever you want to put your mind into, I can see you accomplish it. Whether it's gonna be the acting, the modeling, the hair. Do you do any hair shows yet?
no, I've never been on one.
You ever did people have to go in one? Inquiring off the hair show because you see them all the time. But
No,
have you? Hey, I'm a stylist. I can do it. Whatever else, and they put your information out there. You ain't never tried none of those yet.
no.
And like I was telling my homeboy, he do. I think the little Steve Harvey used to do the little hair shows. He used to win them all the time. Got his own hair salon, stuff like this and that. Amazing, and still can dress good and all this and that. I mean, so everybody got their own talents. You know what I mean? But he was a football player. Uh, I did. I sensed it a while. In the high school and stuff like that. But I never judge him. Still tell him, I love him, stuff like that. Cause that I know if it came down to it, when it's life or death, I'm gonna do what I got to do for him, and vice versa. You know
Right,
what I mean? So those type of genuine people, whether you agree or disagree with whatever they do on their personal, the love don't change about just personal decisions. People I seen what COVID, people, families breaking up, husbands getting divorced, somebody wanted, somebody didn't. And I seen what this last um election stuff. I don't get into politics myself, but you've seen so many people breaking down like the divorce rate. I don't know if you've seen it, it's ridiculous. Marriage is 10, 15 years because they made it like a man against woman. It's like and I think none of them is right. For me, I don't see no kind of bipartisanship. Politics ain't for the people no more. One side do some stuff that I don't agree with biblically or spiritually, but the other side also ain't doing nothing to bridge the gaps.
right.
And when it comes to unity, when it comes to discrimination and stuff like that. So, um, I
Yeah.
just, I see the one relationship. What you think was the hardest thing you had to do on your healing journey? Especially, now you broke up, you want to be by yourself. Is it relationship? What's the hardest part for you on this journey?
Um. Hmm. Hardest part. Um. mm,
Or you
I
don't
don't.
even think about it?
Mm-mm. Hardest part about the healing journey.
Because it can be like you say, your boyfriend, you just say you ain't dating, you just by yourself. We're not made to be alone per se. And I know you're not alone, but still, it's no circle. You don't have a support system. You don't have nobody to confide on those dark days or when you're feeling down. You know what I mean? You always doing something to stay busy so you won't have to go through those emotions. That can be a hard thing, even though we don't even pay attention. I do the same thing. I was isolated. My pops before he passed. I was doing acting back to back. I go to Tennessee, Nashville, North Carolina. Some days I wouldn't even sleep. It's just as soon as I'm done, I'm traveling to the next city and getting on. I think it was something called backstage.com, and they do
Yeah.
like the actor stuff. So you can find all kind of auditions all over the place. So wherever else, I have so many lined up from stage plays to I think what it was, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I did some extra stuff on there. I ended up doing extras for Devious Maze, and then they brought me up, and I was like on 4 episodes. Once I got a bigger break, I had a character. Then they canceled the season. But the next character I was on the supporting cast stuff, which could have changed the game. But I also had some opportunities on major movies that I had to turn down because I was tried, and I don't play no games either. Just like the shirt say, I don't play those type of
Yeah.
games, so I had to decline them. But other people, I doubt they would have declined them, and they would have, did whatever they had to do to be on this major movie. So it's like, everything I tell people is choices that we have to make. But um, do you believe that you have a purpose right now, or are you still looking for your purpose?
Yeah, I believe everybody has a purpose. But see, my philosophy, it used to be that we all have one purpose,
Mm-hmm.
but like now I feel like each day we have a different purpose
Mm-hmm.
because me and my babies every morning I try to do the Lord's Prayer with them.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the Lord's Prayer is give us this day our daily bread.
Yeah.
And then it dawned on me, like, what if each day we wake up, we have a different purpose? Like, maybe today my purpose is to get my story out there.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, my purpose might be to uplift somebody or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know?
And I
So,
believe I believe in that whole philosophy, but that's date your daily purposes,
yeah,
your overarching purpose. Like people say, your legacy. Do you
right.
believe that it's a certain thing which is your purpose? Like for me, like I said, I done went through all kind of stuff. I shouldn't even be alive. I tell people all the time, from
Mhm.
multiple gun wounds, and I talk to people try to say the Holy Spirit, God don't exist. I tell them I hate it for you, but I know for, and I don't need no explanation because I know two bullet holes I had like on the underarm. I don't know if you know those, like the football tight stuff shirt. I had two bullet holes and it was came out my back. I had big muscles and I ain't in shape like I used to be, but I wasn't that strong to stop bullets. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
I felt the bullets itself penetrate. I felt the pinch, but I wasn't
yeah,
bleeding. I wasn't nothing. I got other stab wounds, other bullet hole wounds, but nothing that seriously damaged me for whatever reason. So I was like,
yeah,
it has to be a purpose that I didn't fulfill yet, and just going on, and it can change. We think, because it's gonna always in line. We eventually get there,
yeah,
along with we on that daily walk, like you said, the daily
mm,
God's prayer. Great with your kids. I started doing affirmation with mine. I think that's just a great way we have to do, especially today. But I think we got our daily purposes, then we got our overarching
mm,
purpose, what God envisioned for us.
yeah,
Because He said, "I knew you in your womb," and He already anointed you to do a
mm,
certain thing,
yeah,
no matter the trials and tribulations or the hardships he put us through. You recognize that you have a purpose, and your
mm,
own daily purpose is something most people don't even think about. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So wisdom beyond your young years is off the charts. So maybe it's writing your book, getting your story out there, um, sharing, inspiring, uplifting others.
Yeah,
How many 24-year-old women, and you started this even earlier, young ladies are actually doing the same thing, uplifting other people, men, women, young ladies, children. How many you see in your same situation doing the same? You know what I mean? So it's something
right,
special. It's a rare few. Most of them is drama TV stuff. It's either rapping, other stuff like that. But at your age, wisdom is off the charts. And I think what they used to say, I think I've been here before. My grandparents or people when I was young used to say it all the time because I like old
mm,
music. I didn't really get into hip hop like that, but I like the old blues, old school music at a young
yeah.
age. So what's a special gift or ability that you have that not too many people know?
Well, I can feel what other people feel,
So what they
especially
call
like if
that?
I'm, especially like if I'm standing right beside them.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and like body language stuff like
Mhm.
that. I'm just like extremely sensitive to how people like extremely sensitive.
So I think you say your dad was is that clairvoyant?
What's that? Well, my
I'm
dad.
trying, yeah, no, your dad had the intuition, so he can see things before they kind of happen. He had that connection with intuition, and yours is a feeling. I forgot what they called it. I thought it's clairvoyance or something. It's one of them. But you can feel people emotions, and like
Yeah,
me, I go into a room, whatever else, I feel energy.
yeah,
So I tell people all the time, I never dated a woman that would be considered a bad woman. All my relationships was good. It might not have worked out, but I never had these crazy relationships that most people have, or I just ignored them. Because if I ain't felt the energy or it wasn't genuine, I don't give them a time of day. And this while I was playing ball, while I was trapped, whatever the case may be, I only had a minimum of those relationships. Now, doing stuff I ain't supposed to in that center lifestyle. That was a different, that was a that was a
Yeah.
different thing. But that wasn't relationships, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But actually make it my boyfriend, girlfriend, stuff like that. I think we blessed with picking and choosing what kind of relationships we having, even though we doing other stuff, that we might
Right.
not supposed to be doing, but we ain't making a long term or getting into
Right.
it, So I think that's the grace that we be given. Um,
Yeah.
I ain't want to get too much in deep. I'm gonna put some of the clips of your original video. I'll put the link in there so they can watch it. I didn't want you to share too much details in it because I want them to see this video and to feel the same emotion that like I felt. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Philly guy, but I felt everything you said in the storytelling. So the art of storytelling is something unique that a lot of people don't have either. So that's what people, they lean in it, they love it. I think they need to hear your story. That video is amazing. So I'm gonna post a link. I'll post some clips on there. Um, and it's people like that in the world, and it's sad that it is, but it's reality. Like I say, I worked at Georgia Bureau of Investigation, so I see the crime sacks down here in Georgia. And I think now they have a TBA up there in Tennessee because we actually train them. And it's like the FBI, but it's independent, but it's for Tennessee now. They're called Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. So we train them down here in Georgia, and they do like sex trafficking. They stop people from, kids getting taken advantage of and stuff like that. And it's happened on a mass scale, but it's a business. So I don't think it's hard to stop it when the world is run off corruption. So I tell people the world ain't like whatever we think of it, and we're blessed not to even realize different aspects of it, because you'll go down a whole different spiral. So and that's why I don't even share some of the stuff I know or done witness with my eyes to other people. Because
Yeah.
it's not kind of made for them. Everybody is built for different things, different things. What time you pick your kids up?
I go to their school around like 2:45 ish.
Okay. And what time it is with you now?
11:43.
11:43. Yeah, so I got 12:43. Miss Lana. So
Yeah.
I want you to give some people some wisdom, some girls who done went through experience. Do you think they should actually hold it? So any traumatizing experience, what would you give young girls who've been in the same situation as you at that time? What should they do?
Talk to somebody about it.
Hmm.
Um, because just sitting with that on your chest, no, that ain't the way to go.
So,
And just whenever they get comfortable,
mm-hmm,
try to, you know, just try to use that situation to help out somebody else.
mm-hmm,
Because I know because I went through there, there's certain things that I can see that like other people, if they didn't go through it, they can't like see it.
mm-hmm.
So
Oh, were you saying that? Can you recognize the pain in other people? Have you tuned in on that one?
yeah, and also like body language,
Mm-hmm.
like um if I seen like a group of 10 girls, I could tell exactly which ones have been
Yeah.
touched or which ones have been forced into something.
So not
Um,
only the feeling you get, now you can actually visually see. So you can see how many gifts you got in. I know you still
oh, it
working
says
on it.
session expired.
Hmm?
Is it about to go off?
I don't think so. Maybe
Okay.
yours.
It says session expired. Okay, what was you saying?
No. I say you already got the feeling. You feel people energy. Good, bad, whatever else. Now you visually can see. Saying you're seeing 5, 6 girls, 10 girls. You can see which one has
Mhm.
actually went through pain, trauma, or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. So the next thing I say is, what can you do about that? You know what I mean? Because it's hard now that react. We see things, but how can we share or get to those people, and we know they're in need for help? How can we our own mission to actually help those, because we see it all the time. Maybe it's not for that specific person, you see it, but what should we do to actually help others? You know what I mean? Continue doing what we're doing, sharing stories, communicating them. Like you sharing your story, I know it's a reach out, but I just wanted to see because that's my belief. Doing that to help others because we done went through our
Mhm.
own hardships. What's your thing is? What you think that a mission or goal of yours that you want to do with your gifts?
Well, I know with me particular, I let them know that I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you can ask, you can ask all my nieces and nephews. Out of all the TTs, if they have something that they want to get off their chest,
Mm-hmm.
or like even like a little secret, maybe they done did something for the first time, I'm the one that they gonna end up telling
Mm-hmm.
because I just naturally have like a confident energy. I try my best
Yeah.
to let people know I'm here. Um, and they know I'm extremely confidential. I don't tell so many secrets for these kids, but
But
you know, just
that's your aura, and I felt that energy. Like I said before, I can pick up on people's energy and stuff like that. But that's just a
yeah,
personal aura. And I tell people, I know we don't even think about it as a spiritual battle, but some people see that aura, and that's what they're attracted to you. But they can't. I don't want to say control themselves, but who knows what kind of those guys who took advantage of you, whatever the case. They seen that light and was
yeah,
attracted to it and needed a piece of your aura,
yeah,
whether
and that
it's
was
dim or whether the case may be. But that's my perception when I seen it, or I see other guys because I know people who practice that cult life. The kids are power. You know, younger. You see it all the time. Every older male you see. I just mentioned my guy Shannon Sharp. I knew his brother. I played ball. He dating an 18. You know what I mean? She wasn't even 18, I guess, when he first started dating. But the youth is power in youth. But he near 60. You know what I mean? So it's always an attraction to younger people for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because the innocent, the light in you, but certain people take that as like their energy. They want a piece of it. Maybe it can make them feel younger, whatever the case. But they're on that realm of it. But I see the light. I see the positive energy in you. I see amazing things in your future. I hope that your story reaches so many people that but you got to prepare yourself for it for what's coming. You know, that's one thing I ain't know all the time either. You know, you got to prepare yourself for it. Because saying what if 100 people reach out to you, you know, I think maybe starting a nonprofit to help other women who are going through certain things or different traumas. Who knows what the path is going to lead, but first starts with having a good support system. You know, I'm here anytime, any question in the comments, acting, modeling. I done did it all. You know, I still got connections in it. Try to help you get that monologue. My agency is SY Talent Agency down here in Atlanta, but they got LA, they got different places. And it's not exclusive contracts. You know, if you say if they have something, they people casting directors are interested in you, they can submit your information out there. You know, they want to reach out to you, but it's not like an exclusive contract. Meaning, like me, I can do stuff indie. I can do whoever else want to hire me. I can do it instead of like if I'm with in California. If I go ahead and assign my little SAG contract, I can't do
yeah,
indie films. I can't do nothing. So now I'm limited. But I don't
right,
want you to control what I want to do. You know, as
right,
an artist, I want to be able to do whatever. So I do a non SAG agreement, and
nice.
that way I can stay flexible. But I don't know. You don't know too much about the SAG stuff yet, but
No.
once you end up getting there is another decision. Do you want to just do SAG stuff? And yeah, they can pay you top rail, but it's gonna eliminate you from doing other stuff. Now you can only do whatever they tell you to. You know,
Yeah.
so that's just stuff they don't know. But I'm gonna send you all that stuff over. Um, I'm gonna reach out to Tasha K. Put your link in there. I think she just shared it's another young lady I seen online. She was crashing out. She got two kids, but she a single mother, but she's contemplating suicide. You know, so stuff like that break my heart because she don't have no outlet. She got family and friends, and they act like they there for her. And she called them out too, but like, but y'all don't want to help until people like this, and she done committed. You know, and so until they do something dangerous, and now you be like, I didn't know, but she explained it to them. So it's like my heart breaks for people who going through stuff like that. So um, I can't wait to see what you have in store in your future. I don't want to keep rambling on. So, any closing remarks you want to say?
To anybody who is contemplating suicide, especially moms, just
Hmm.
like keep your babies in the forefront of your mind
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna sit up here and say I've never had those thoughts
Hmm.
because I did. Especially around the time whenever I lost my grandmother,
Hmm.
and just around that time it was very dark. But just keep your mind on your babies, because if you're a single mom, it's probably because God trusts you to keep those kids. But if you take yourself out of those kids' life, who do they
Hmm.
have?
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
They got
So
nothing. Now they got to keep moving,
yeah,
going through family and family, and now more generational curses. I
yeah,
believe in it. I believe in soul ties.
yeah,
Um, but I know a lot of people don't actually pray to have that soul tie removed too. So,
mhm,
you pick on the characteristics of the person who you done
yeah,
been with, and it kind of changes up your mentality also. But a lot of people, I
absolutely.
see some people now starting to pray to have those soul ties removed. But
Mhm.
I think we all have to do that at times. I know
Yeah,
I'm glad I use protection, but that's,
yeah.
but
That's what I'm
for
saying.
those
That's
who
the
didn't,
stuff.
but we still need to get rid of them. So I don't know if protection actually work against soul ties or not.
It does. It does. Well, like
They're supposed to be the DNA, the transfer
yeah,
of energy.
like fluid wise, yes. But if you're like spending a lot of time with that person, or
Yeah,
even
yeah,
like you're hugging them, like you ever hug somebody and started feeling tired afterwards,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that
yeah,
transfer of energy is big. So I'm a big believer in that. Or you do it and you
yeah,
drain. You know what I mean? Like you got some people
yeah,
who suck the life out of your energy from you, and you got to get away from them.
yeah,
So I know those. That's just like I say. Every toxic relationship kind of working like that. You get
yeah,
drained, so you got to depart. You gain your energy back. And you try to just make amends with it. But
yeah.
Miss Lana, I appreciate your time. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put this stuff together, put all your information in there. So who knows how many messages you're gonna be receiving from different people. But I'm gonna reach out to people. I'm gonna just tag your information in there. I'm like,
Okay,
hey, I just want you to introduce you to Miss Lana. Reach out to her, ask her what they can do. But for my agent, it's some things. I'll just give you the website and stuff like that. I email you, and it's gonna be a list of stuff that you're gonna have to submit to them,
okay,
and then go from there. But like I say, everybody is always looking for fresh faces is what they call it. So any help with that, I'm always, email is always the best place to reach me. You can reach me.
okay.
I work overnight sometimes, because it works best for
Mhm.
me. And only on the weekend now. So during the week, I'm generally free. I
Yeah,
know we are an hour behind, but any questions, I'm gonna help you get wherever you need to go. So I appreciate your time. Um, Appreciate you sharing your story, and I'm just gonna keep continuing to pray for your healing journey. You helping to inspire others. I commend you for it. And I hope you have a good day. How much sleep you got last night?
probably like 6 hours.
Oh man, you doing better than me. So you
Probably
do.
about six because I stayed up till about 2 o'clock just thinking to myself like how am I supposed to reach my dream life?
Uh,
And so just up brainstorming.
yeah, so okay, doing your brain some before I let you go. Share a couple of things that you be thinking about when it comes to future aspects of where you see yourself in the future.
And just I don't know, just like a bigger city with more opportunities, more movement, more everything. My babies in like dance classes or something,
Mhm.
extracurricular activities, a nice school, traveling, a lot of money.
Mhm. So
Just that's what I'm
have you visually seen it in your dreams or anything yet? Like yourself in the
actually,
future?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I have one of the dreams I was getting on a airplane and I've had multiple oh my goodness. I've had multiple dreams about different celebrities,
Hmm.
but in the dreams it's not like, oh my goodness, it's a celebrity. Like I'm casually talking to them like how I'm talking to you.
Hmm.
But I've seen T.I. in my dreams. I've seen Nicki Minaj in my dreams. I've seen
Hmm.
Cardi, Tentacion. Just so yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you because, like I said, I don't work with Tyler, Oprah. I seen them, but I talk to them just like anybody else. I don't get
Yeah,
starstruck or nothing like
yeah,
that. But they are hardworking people. Now,
yeah,
other stuff, I hear other stories about other people, but maybe it's different because I was on set and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Oprah was really nice and funny, and I made jokes with her. I asked her, "Do I look better than Stan?" Stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
it was. I'm a jokey type of person, but it was another guy. His mouth was just wide open. When he didn't say a word. She was like, "What's wrong with your friend?" I was like,
Yeah.
"I don't know what's wrong with him."
Say, he ain't with me.
Yeah,
Hey, he's
yeah.
not with
But
me.
and we just had small roles, but Tyler had an actor, and was something the case he couldn't use my scene because the actor didn't prefer I was in that scene. I just put it like that. And it
Okay.
was an old show, so he called Oprah. They got me on that show. I think it was Greenleaf, with the pastors and stuff like that. But I got to hung out with her for a day. So we
Nice.
on there. I met all of them and just talked to her. What's the lady name? She was on A Thin Line with Love and Hate. She was on there. Short,
Yeah.
y'all around the same height. So most of these people, the women you see on TV, especially great, are short women. So I don't know
Yeah.
if it's a short women thing, but
Short women taking over.
man, I tell you, but they talented. But I don't. You remember A Thin Line Between Love and Hate? Everybody done seen that. So
Yeah.
it was her in there, and I always thought she was amazing in it. But those, it was a good thing. So it's like, yeah, I was a little upset at the time, but we never know what kind of good things are coming from it.
All right.
So I want you to have a good day. Reach out to me. You'll see some
Yeah.
emails I get to send you, and just stay blessed.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
All right. You too.